thank you for being here. It means so much to all of us, and particularly to the Queen. What I'd like to do, to take just a minute, and I'm not going to talk, I'd like to go around the room and have people tell us why you knew Queen Betsy great song. Okay? And we'll go around, we'll start at this table here, and we'll have people introduce themselves. Where there's a couple, you fight it out on who's going to speak. Okay? Single, okay, you decide that and tell it. We'll go on this end, and we'll start over here with Shari, and now we'll go around this way. Because a lot of people don't know one another, and I think it would be nice to have that opportunity. And we're going to start with our son, Timothy.
You, Tim, go Timbo!
Go Tim!
I think we're going to do a toast. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, go Timothy.
Mom, this is thanks for having me home for the weekend, and happy 7th birthday. 7th? I'm sorry, Gary. Happy 7th birthday.
Yay! Salute!
Great job.
All right, and to Michael. You're going to have to do this.
Okay.
Why do you know this woman?
How do you know this woman?
Well, I was born at a very young age, and yet I had the good fortune of being brought up by the best mother anybody possibly could. Despite her own perceptions, I will say again and again that you gave me the best upbringing you possibly could.
Yes.
I love you.
Yes.
And happy birthday.
Your turn. Oh!
Oh no, I'm half of the couple. You talk for me.
All right.
Okay, here.
No, I'm half of the couple.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, okay, all right.
No,
Well,
it's Mom's turn.
Okay, all right.
Why do I know this woman? Because he
Married?
fooling around with her. That's why I know her. And from the very first Christmas we spent together, they welcomed me into their homes, and it's been a joyful, I don't know how long has it been?
12 years.
12 years, and we celebrate all of our holidays together, and it's just wonderful.
Woohoo! Salute. And now,
Now, Shari and Al.
Sherry and Al. No pressure.
Al and I are craftspeople, and before we started doing shows, we had read about Betsy and her work, and we went to a show in Wilton, Connecticut, and we met Betsy before she knew anything about us. And we went to her booth, and we said, we just had to see this beautiful work, and she was so kind to us, talked to us forever about things, and we just were thrilled to see it and to meet her. And then over the years, we ended up on the other side of the booth doing shows alongside of Betsy, thinking, oh my God, we're doing shows alongside. And then we became friends, and she's been a teacher and a friend and companion, and we've stayed with other friends at shows and got to know Betsy and Tom much better. And we're really glad to have made you great.
And learn to drink bourbon.
And
Salute.
I'm telling you, place to stay.
At the end, after other people go.
Next, Mr. Krieg.
I'm the little brother.
Somebody else was telling me.
I'm the littlest brother. Yes, this is the biggest brother. I'm the littlest brother.
We used to put them in a basket.
And well, I was going to say, as a 2-year-old, I was driving around in the backyard in a laundry basket. Which today means you'd all be in jail for a very long time. Probably the bestest sister I have.
Oh no!
Back as old as somebody. 70-year-old sister.
I'm the older brother. Oldest younger. I'm number 3 out of 4. And we used to be very amused when Betsy would bring home dates before time.
I didn't think that was possible.
So I don't think I need to go into any details, but if you want to know, ask me. Happy birthday, Dad.
You don't tell any stories now. The Rocket Man.
The Rocket Man. Think of that.
Yeah.
And what Chip would do at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, well,
All right, it's time to go on to even Lenny.
Please. It's past time. Past time.
We met in the cow barn.
We met in the cow barn.
Yes, we
Yes, an octagonal cow barn in
Hancock.
Shaker Village. I don't know what year it was.
It was
but
2000.
a while ago.
2000. Like 99.
And
About 2000.
I remember seeing your work for the first time, and I was blown away. Just in a level beyond anything I had ever seen in my whole life, I have to say. And you have been such a mentor and teacher.
You're gonna make me cry.
And now you're in the bog plants.
And now I get to enable her.
Yes, she sure does.
to blossom in her gardening, and I take her around to the different dives that I know.
I'm sorry.
Take that back. Really, I'm
My
not.
visa card is still burning.
All too easy, I gotta say.
Oh, we have one candy.
Your skills and your heart beyond measure.
Oh, thank
It
you.
ought to be mentioned on Lenny's part though, too, in terms of Lenny's role in this as well, in terms of show promotion and being a neighbor of Betsy and being a master clockmaker who Betsy and Lenny, you ought to be
That's
telling the
right.
story, not me, got together in Boston. I remember that,
On a snowy night.
with a customer of Lenny's, who, right? And
And
the
Lenny.
guy said, I want one of Lenny's clocks, and I went to that lady next door to decorate.
Maybe
And
his
there's
clocks
several
are
blocks
beyond.
around that have
Talk about an
the
honor.
double beauty of Lenny's work as well as Betsy's.
A matchmaker.
And there's some folks here who actually are the owners of one of those
Yes,
clocks.
so
Oh,
Tom,
that's right.
brilliant as he is,
Yeah, right.
sets up the next story almost.
I'm sorry.
Here we go. Big mouth.
Hey, segue.
Scratch that from the record there, would you mind?
Kill the video, kill the video.
All right, Wendy, do your story.
So I'm Wendy / Candy, so some people know I'm a little
Yeah, wow.
schizophrenic. Some people know me as Candy, but we met Betsy actually through the extraordinary clockmaker and his extraordinary wife.
Oh, wow.
Because we bought a clock from our neighbors in Pennsylvania, and he said, and after we bought the tall clock, he was saying, oh, I've got this woman, Betsy Song, and she's this artist, and when you see her working, I love it. And we saw her work at a show and said, oh yeah, we've got to have a dwarf clock, and we've got to have Betsy paint it. And we kind of came to met her work that way, and then we were privileged enough to be participating in a show that she came down to and hosted her in our house.
They warmly welcomed me down to their home.
Well,
We
and
stay
we just,
every
it was
year.
with Shari and all, and just,
And
it was
Shari
kind of
and
the
Alan.
personalities and the love
And
of
the bourbon.
Scott, and then there were poetry readings.
Oh, that's right. Johnny Nolan has a patch on his ass.
There were many shared interests, and we're very privileged to be here and meeting. We know a lot of her friends through the art community, but also meeting some of her family. It's wonderful what she's inspired, and it's wonderful that the family. We're just enjoying the conversations. Obviously, this is a very unique community. To be part of it with Betsy and to celebrate this very special event. We're happy you're here. At the year that you don't want to talk about.
And I have a new thing, is I'm 70, so.
Exactly. Exactly, and she's right. Eve knows a lot.
Yes, yes.
Jill.
Oh, Jill.
Oh,
Where do you
Jill.
start?
This is
Where
like,
do I start? Okay, I'll start with Tom. We left Ithaca College at the same time, which is how I had met Tom, who was vice president of financial, whatever.
Something.
Bourbon.
And he told me in the parking lot at the Trumansburg Sure Save about a tragedy. Do you remember that? You mentioned that a truck had been stolen.
Oh, yeah.
And that was how I first heard about Betsy. And that horrible event, and then within a few years, circumstances brought us together when you walked into a yarn shop where I was teaching knitting lessons.
In Watkins Glen.
In Watkins Glen, Finger Lakes Fibers.
They do things besides cars there.
Yeah. And she wanted to shrink felt a sweater, and I discouraged her from doing that. But she mentioned she was working on this book project, and it wasn't then, but it was after you spent a lot of time, I think 700 pages, you came to me with, and said, can you help me get this published? And it was a true gift to me, because not only was I able to help her get that book published, but she became my friend.
Absolutely.
And if it weren't for Jill, it would never have happened because
I couldn't have, no, stop that. I know nothing about women's painted furniture.
You tell her.
Nobody could have written that book but you.
But you directed me. I mean, I'm an artisan and I don't know up from publishing. And Jill is Dr. Jill Swenson, and her field has been communications. And I mean, she just, in a very joyful, fun way. I mean, we worked our tails off. And she was a brave woman to take on a 700-page, 400-image book and take it down. You know, she was amazing. So it's been a real gift for me that she.
So you kept your velvet glove
She's
on?
the reason. Do I have my velvet glove? She did. So. My mother used to say I was the, what was it? The
Iron Fist and the Velvet Glove.
P.E. and Mary.
Okay, I'm Phil, I'm Tom's brother, and when did I meet Betsy? I mean, it starts from a fact that you'll find hard to believe, that the girls used to be attracted to Tom, actually.
All right, let's go on to the next
name. So there really is a fairly large number of females that kind of he roamed around the house and around town with over the years. But finally he seemed to latch on to this really nice woman who was in nurse's training at Good Samaritan Hospital in Cincinnati. And so it became a thing, and he said she was really a nice person. They got married, and he also gave me some advice about marrying nurses. So I married a nurse from Good Samaritan.
All right.
Well said. Well said.
Sue.
Sue?
Sue.
Sue is a friend through Sister Ann. I met Betsy through Tom's sister Ann. Many, probably when I was 13 years old, I think we started getting together and had a good time.
That shows the age difference, doesn't it?
That was about 14 years ago.
Yeah, I'm more than that anyway.
A mere child.
But Betsy's been a very, very gracious person through her whole life, and so it's been a great time to visit with her, to spend time with her, and I've loved her family, and I've loved visiting with her, and just a whole 9 yards. She's a wonderful person. Thank you. And thank you for adopting me into the family. I really appreciate it. I love it.
It's been our joy. And then there's Ann.
Now look out, Ann. Go for it.
And Dean.
I don't think I really remember when I met Betsy. I don't remember what I had for dinner yesterday, so. But I do remember that.
So are you going to say who you are?
They introduced me as your sister Ann.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
way, I do remember that my brother Tom thought he needed to go away and be a brother of the cloth.
Oh.
So it was really exciting because he bought all this black stuff.
Hey, this is supposed to be about Betsy. Mami, padre.
So you got the big black
Benny's
trunk.
got all the dominoes.
You got the big black trunk and you fill it with your black ties and your black pants and your black shirts and everything like that. And we went to the train station. But you knew Betsy at the time and it was kind of hard to make a decision. So you went to the train station and I threw confetti because you were leaving the house. And I
Got the room.
It was good. I think, what did you last, 2 weeks?
16 days.
16 days. And then you came back and you married
They
Betsy.
told me to go and get married. Right, so I followed their
So
advice.
that's when I met Betsy, really.
Okay.
If you want to add something, go ahead.
Marlene and Dan.
Oh, I think it might have been the Bethesda show, the Land and Boarding School that we first mentioned.
Really? When we ran into the air
It was either that or
conditioner?
Annandale.
I think it was Annandale.
But was it Annandale? I just remember I had never seen anybody do the schoolgirl art. I'd seen it, you know, the work in books before. I didn't even really know what it was called, but I was just so impressed with your entourage, ladies.
Oh, yeah, the
Your
farm.
beautiful setup and the work was just, I mean, it was like being in a museum. I mean, it was so impressive. And then when I met and talked to Betsy, she was just the most delightful, wonderful, sweet person that I've ever met.
You've never seen me angry.
Anyway, it's been, you know, evolving over the years, and Dan and I treasure both Betsy and Tom's friendship. And I've been very privileged to be able to come in March and attend classes and learn a little bit more, you know, about the techniques of the schoolgirl art tradition. But most of all, I just treasure your friendship.
Same here.
Thank you. Nicely said.
Very precious.
Nicely said.
It is to
God
us
bless
too.
Well, I guess I have to say I'm the younger sister. And
Older than me.
oh yeah, that's
Someone said earlier, didn't she?
and all while we were growing up, I have to tell you, Betsy was present in class. Betsy was really accomplished, always. And I followed her, and I had long black hair and was Joan Baez, you know, Screw the Society, to react. And it was 20 years ago, Hub and I separated, and we got back together, and Betsy was phenomenal. She guided me and was there for me and helped me. And since then, she can kick me out of bed. She was a dancer, and we shared a double bed, and God help me if a toe went over the middle line. But, you know, and now we just want time together. But she's the glue for me. And it's a heavy responsibility.
Vice versa. Now we're trying to get her to move up and high with us, or near
We're
us.
coming.
Not with us, near us.
I'd like to say two things. Okay, first of all, okay, I'm sure everybody realizes it, but I want to recognize it, okay? Tom worked his butt off to make this happen.
Truth. Truth. Props. Props.
Great idea, and he really pulled off, I think, just wonderful.
Yes.
Okay? And secondly, as far as Betsy goes, I want you to know that I got two sisters, okay? She is probably more of a sister to me. You know, all the rest of it.
Nicely said. Nicely said. Thank you, Howard. All right, so no pressure.
He's gonna talk because I'll cry, so.
I don't know anybody here. I heard there was a free meal.
Business casual.
And the wine is very good, I must say. It was worth waiting. But enough worship at the altar of Betsy.